Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie. This is the show where we sit down, chat about stuff like a movie, and then we go and watch the movie we are planning to watch, and we come back and talk about it after. I am Tommy. With me, as always, is CJ. CJ, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I know, like, off screen, we were just having a conversation about how the podcast has been lately, and I feel like you really rushed the opening. Not that you rushed what you said, but we do a sync before the podcast starts, right? And you went from the sync right into the intro. Like, there was like barely a pause.
No, there was like 5 seconds.
No, 5 seconds, because I was like, I was about to say, like, all right, am I doing it? And then you started talking.
Well, yeah. It's well, hold on, I'm looking. It was 3. No, it was okay.
Less than 3.
This is really hard. This is really hard as the timeline is scrolling. Oh, I can zoom out. It was yeah, I don't know if it looks like okay. Hold on, I'm getting somewhere. This
and
is a
some of
errand.
these and some of those.
But yeah, today we are talking about the movie The Rundown. But first, we got some things to chat about. Firstly, CJ, how you doing? You been up to anything?
Since last time we talked, I've been playing some Fire Emblem.
Nice. Which one?
I think. Let me make sure that I get it right. I think it's the Blazing Blade. It is the one that came to the it's the Blazing Blade. It is the Game Boy Advance one that came out. The one before it, the Binding Blade, came out, but it was only in Japan. That's Roy's game.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
now I've never played a Fire Emblem. How familiar is this? Your first Fire Emblem?
No.
Have you played many?
I have played. So I started with Three Houses when that came out on the Switch, because it was at the time where I was like looking for new games for the Switch and it came out. I played Engage. Between Three Houses and Engage, I played Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and those are the two for the GameCube and the Wii, respectfully. And so this is the 5th game that I've played.
Okay.
This is the first one I played that's like the 2D art style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun. It's nice. It's pretty. I like it. You get to a point in Fire Emblem where, I think it's in every game, where every chapter eventually starts taking an hour. So it's like, oh, this level's going to take you an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prep, and you got to get all your guys and your girls to have all the right weapons, and you got to restock, and then you got to position them, and then you got to do all, you do all the stuff, and then it's like, you look up, it's like, oh, it's been an hour. So
yeah, well, that sounds a little bit miserable.
No, not as miserable as watching you roll your fucking truck in American Truck Simulator.
Oh, no, that's not miserable. That's not miserable one bit.
Only a little miserable. But yeah, what have you been up to?
No, it's so fun. Oh, just life stuff. This past weekend, Jade and I were out in Phoenix visiting some family, which was nice. It was very hot. It was really cool. Had never been to that part of the country. Got to see a lot of really big cacti up close, which was really neat. And yeah, just been busy. September's a busy month for me and my family. There's a billion birthdays. Jade's birthday was recently, so lots of celebrating, lots of errands to run, lots of gifts to get, keeping busy. But something that's going on in September that's important to mention is our movie fantasy league. I just wanted to put out a reminder for this. Now, this episode right now, The Rundown, is releasing Friday, September 26th. So this is releasing just past the draft deadline. But if you're listening to this on December or September 26th and you're like, oh, what's this movie fantasy league thing? Maybe you didn't listen to our last episode fully. Pretty much it's like a fantasy draft for sports, but for movies releasing the rest of the year. You have 100 fake dollars to draft some films. They all cost a different amount. And we have a league that you can join. If you Google Vulture Movie Fantasy League, you should be able to find a draft page where you like put in your email, your name, and then we should say this is free to join. You do have to put in your email though. And then there should be a box for typing in what league you want to join. Type in the film is okie dokie, just like you see it in your podcast catcher, the space, film space, yada, yada. You'll have $100 to draft your films, but if you are drafting after the date of September 25th, which anyone hearing this and then going to do this instant, you would fall under this category. You will be a bit limited in how you draft. Typically, you earn points from how your movies perform at the box office. You'll earn points from how they perform critically. You'll earn points for how they perform at the award shows. But after the September 25th first draft deadline, you'll be limited to only movies that I think have not started earning points yet. So you'll be narrowed down to anything that either hasn't released at the box office, hasn't been reviewed critically, or hasn't earned any award nominations or wins. So the sooner you draft, the more films you will have access to drafting. And there's a whole breakdown on how the points work and everything. Just Google Vulture Movie Fantasy League. You will find a landing page for it. You will also find the draft page. Just again, go and join our league. Type in the league name is The Film is Okie Dokie, and there will be a prize for our winner. This will run all the way through the rest of the year and all the way up through the Oscars. It ends after the Oscars once all the winners are announced. But go join. It's a fun community thing. Join our Discord server to be able to partake in discussion about it. We'll be bringing it up on occasion as films start earning points. But yeah, would love to have more people competing.
Yeah, no, it was fun to draft. I'm interested to see what everybody picked.
Yes, very excited. We'll be able to see everyone's choices after that draft deadline. So right around when this episode comes out, we should be able to start seeing what everyone in our league picked.
Yeah, no, and boy, I'm excited.
Yeah, very excited to see what you drafted, CJ. How are you feeling about your draft? Strong?
So I went for a sort of a committee approach.
Okay.
I feel like I have 3 films that I spent in the $20 to $25 range. And then I made up the rest with the budget. So, I had the most fun picking the budget.
Mm-hmm.
But I also focused on films I thought were going to be Oscar favorites.
Right,
so
that's very important.
I got to, I spent a lot of time reading Cannes and with Sundance Scuttlebutt.
Mm-hmm. It's a really fun way to kind of engage with the upcoming slate of films that are going to be, vying for nominations and stuff.
And I will say, it doing this has actually done something. It has uncovered what one of my big complaints is about the Oscars is that for like 10 years, the last 10 or 15 years, the movie that won was a movie that or the movie you thought was going to win is a movie that you had never heard of. That came out of nowhere at the end, that is now suddenly the favorite and now has a ton of press. It's like, I never heard of, man, I mean, if I
really
had the list in front of me, but it's like, oh, these movies were all at the festivals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think the few exceptions are like Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that came out earlier in the year. Parasite was like an October release that really started building momentum. So definitely with you, like stuff really pops up out of nowhere. And like some films have meteoric rises. So like last year, like if you picked a Nora in this last year, you were sitting pretty, because I'm pretty sure it was lower. It wasn't like cheap to draft, but it was lower on the tier list And then it just, word of mouth for it. And it did really great. And it was, if you didn't have a Nora, tough shit, you didn't win.
Yeah. I'm looking at the list of Best Picture winners. I'd never heard of Coda when it won. I had never heard of Nomadland when it won. I had heard of Parasite. I had heard of Green Book. I had heard of Shape of Water. I had never heard of Moonlight when it won. And Spotlight I had heard of when it won. So I guess
hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. I think I'm thinking longer ago. Man, the year Argo won, that was a fucking year. Argo is like the least worthy Best Picture winner I've ever seen.
Really? Interesting. I've not seen it.
It lost. Here are the movies that it beat. You ready?
Yeah.
Amour.
Okay.
Beast of the Southern Wild.
Okay.
Django Unchained.
Okay.
Life of Pi.
Gotcha.
Lincoln.
Okay.
Les Mis.
Okay.
Silver Linings Playbook.
All right.
And Zero Dark 30.
Wow. There are some good films in there.
I thought it would have. I thought Life of Pi definitely would have won. But that was another one that I don't remember hearing about until. Oh, maybe I'm.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, I'm very, very excited to see what the surprise films of this award season are.
Yes.
Very excited.
Yeah, I did a lot of research, so I am excited to see how it does.
Cool. Very cool. Well, again, please go and join that if you're hearing this. But we do have something else we wanted to chat about before getting into the rundown.
Okay.
CJ.
Yes.
Hit us with what you wanted to bring to the table.
Okay, so recently I had a thought that was like, I really want to watch this movie. And then I was like, oh, I think that would make Tommy really happy if I watched this movie, because I know that you really like this movie.
Okay.
And dare I say you love this movie. And
okay.
You, I think, would be surprised to know that I was considering watching it.
Okay.
But I actually was going to watch it last night because we talked about it, and I decided not to. So there's a reason for that, but I'm interested to see if you can guess. I'm not going to tell you if you get it, but I'm interested to see if you can, how close you get.
Okay. Now, so you're not going to tell me if I got it?
No.
So how will, say, the viewers know if I got it? Will you be able to?
This will be answered in the post show.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, sorry, did you say what it was? Because you told me you had mentioned one thing to me last night, kind of as like a slight hint. I'm not sure if you had mentioned it here. You would mention that it might be a scary movie.
Yes, it might be in a genre that I don't usually watch.
Okay.
Suspense, scary. I have a very low threshold for horror. Scary.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the bullseye on films that are kind of scary, might be considered horror classically, but maybe either have aged or are more focused on the drama of things. So where my mind's at is like Sinners, I think, would be something that you would entertain maybe watching. I think Jaws is a good shout. Jaws is like a top 10 all-time movie for me. I think Jaws is absolutely flawless. Alien is another movie I love that. I think that one might be a little intense for you, but maybe Alien. I feel like you've told me that you've seen The Shining.
I've never sat down and watched The Shining in one full sitting.
Okay.
However, I have seen every scene of The Shining in the aggregate.
Okay. I think The Shining is a strong contender as well. I don't think you could. I don't think it would be The Thing. I don't think there's any shot it would be The Thing because that is like probably my all-time favorite movie, but it is like perfectly in the quadrant of things CJ does not like. So I don't think it'd be that. Another favorite of mine is Hereditary, though I don't think you would watch Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking more recently, like Nosferatu, The Witch, Robert Eggers, I don't think you'd watch those. Maybe Nosferatu, now that I think about it. Probably not, though. Also more recently, I don't think you would have watched Talk to Me or Bring Her Back. Those are really intense. Those are there are horror movies and then there are horrifying movies, and those are horrifying, certainly. Other recent ones. Oddity, no, you wouldn't have. I doubt you had heard of Oddity. Get Out, maybe. I could see Get Out maybe being on there because that's a bit more intense. That's thrillery. Wouldn't say horror, more thriller. Similarly, Nope. Oh, Nope is so good. Talk about modern Jaws. Maybe Shaun of the Dead. I could see you maybe being interested in trying out Shaun of the Dead. Maybe Signs, thinking more 2000s things as well. Love Signs, and that's a bit on the scarier side. Cabin in the Woods as well is a favorite that I feel like CJ might be able to do. Though I don't think you would pick to watch Cabin in the Woods on yourself. All right, final ones I'm just gonna throw out there. Movies I love: the original Halloween, and then let's say Psycho and American Psycho. I think it's got to be one of them. It's got to be one of those 20 films I just listed.
Okay. Is there one in there that you're like, you feel like it could be?
Shoot. If I had to pick one above all, I would say Jaws.
Okay.
That's my final answer.
All right.
So we will find out in the post show, you say.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
This will have a conclusion.
Okay.
All right. So, what are we watching today?
Great question. Today, we are watching the 2003 film, The Rundown. CJ, what do you know about this movie?
So, I don't know anything about the movie. I believe you told me that it has The Rock in it.
Yes.
And that's all I know. If that is the case, I thought that I had a pretty good grip on The Rock's filmography.
Mm.
To the point that I would say, like, yeah, I'm surprised I didn't know this movie. And to the point, I never heard of it. Because I've never heard of it.
Okay.
I think everyone knows that his first main role was, like, the Scorpion King.
Yes.
But this had to come out, like, right after.
Yeah, so Scorpion King came out in 2002. This is 2003. The Scorpion King was his first starring role. He was in movies before that. He was in The Mummy Returns. But his first starring role was Scorpion King, the spin-off of The Mummy.
Right.
The Rundown is his second starring role. I saw this movie actually in theaters with my dad.
Okay.
And then I think this might have been the first movie I owned on DVD, like myself personally.
Okay.
So we're watching like a certified staple Tommy childhood classic right here. I've seen this movie a lot, mostly in childhood. I have not seen this movie probably in at least like 12 to 15 years, at least. I watched it a lot as a kid, but not much. I don't think, if ever, like 10 years old and on.
Okay.
I do think it's interesting, because we're going to be watching this. This is a WWE Studios film.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For people who are unaware, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he goes by the WWE owns the name The Rock. Anytime you see him billed as The Rock, it's something to do with the WWE. If he's just Dwayne Johnson, WWE is not involved. But Dwayne Johnson is the biggest movie star on the planet. Is he actually like a good actor? That's, to be debated.
He's really good at being The Rock.
Yeah. And I think it would be a little interesting just to kind of, maybe for people unfamiliar, just kind of put his career a bit into perspective. Because he's someone who is a household name and has been for a very long time. But while his stardom early on was as this rising star in the WWE and this heel, this like antagonistic force in there turned movie star, he's really, I feel like comfortable using the word artificially manufactured this image around himself of this big movie star. That's not to say he hasn't been in many big movies, but something I wanted to bring up is, so in 2012, he, along with his manager / ex-wife, they founded 7 Buck Productions, which is The Rock's movie production studio. They founded this in 2012. And from 2017 and on, The Rock has been a producer or executive producer on every film he's been involved with, save for 3. So that's 3 of his last 19 films. He has had a direct influence on the direction of the project and the way it's propped up. And that includes films where he just has a cameo. He might have been a producer or executive producer on that. In like Shazam, he has a likeness cameo. It's just that there's like an image of Black Adam that looks like him, and he's an EP on that. And one of the 3 films that he was not an EP on was a short film. So it's like, really, it's 2 of his last 18 films he's really been involved in.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Wasn't the short film the one where he's Maui?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
It's like he's basically just, I think it was the Once Upon a Studio short film, which is where he was where he did the voice role because he's Moana. And who knew Moana was going to be a big hit,
Yeah. And, a lot of this stardom that he has, people do like him. People go and see his films, but it really does feel very much as something that he has inserted himself into. And I think that he has lost a lot of the goodwill of the public in the last couple years. A big thing being like the whole movie Black Adam and how DC, like all of the DC films kind of were falling apart, and he really inserted himself into that stage of where Warner Brothers was. And, there's a big meme of the entire hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change. And that was just like really this mantra that he was forcing to like really pivot the entire like Snyderverse and everything to be centered around himself as Black Adam. Like really this manufactured thing. And it doesn't help that he's also in films like Red Notice, which was just like pure Netflix slop, or Red One, which was pure Amazon Video slop. Just like really a loss of genuinity as he has. It's almost like he has this conquest he has set out for to be, I must be the number 1 star in the world. And it doesn't, it feels like he's approaching it from that I want to be a movie star angle rather than out of a place of sincerity. So, and like even with this Smashing Machine, which is coming up, which is supposed to be him pivoting into more serious roles, even then, it's hard to feel like his performance aside, which is it's a film neither of us have seen yet. It's not out. All of the buzz around it, even then, it still feels as though he's like it's not genuine in some way. It's like it's we've just been almost, what's the word, conditioned to feel this. At least myself, I have feel as though I've been conditioned to take anything he's involved with like the grain of salt of like, oh, he's just trying to use this as a lever to increase his stardom rather than actually being passionate about a project. And it always feels like his image is the most important thing at the end of the day with his performances. Like famously with the Fast and the Furious movies, there are all of these like, I guess, I don't know if they are exactly leaks, but a lot of word from behind the scenes that there are like written into him and Vin Diesel's contracts is on screen they cannot be shown to lose a fight. Right? Stuff like that. It doesn't feel, it's like their image is above all the most important thing. It's more important than the film itself, is his role in the cultural zeitgeist. So it's going to be interesting going from this Rock that we've really grown accustomed to, who, you know, he's recently lost a ton of weight because he's very clearly has stopped taking steroids, probably because his doctor's like, you got to stop because you're getting old and your heart's going to fail. And it does feel like he's starting to go through this cultural this rehabilitation of his image with the Smashing Machine come out. So I think it's, you know, a bit timely to be watching this. It'll be interesting to see where he was in his career as this just starting out star and where he is now. See, I guess, CJ, how do you feel about The Rock in general?
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned WWE films. WWE films makes garbage. Okay, I was a big WWE fan in the early 2000s, like 2005 through 2000 and I want to say 9 or 10. Like, there was a good 5-year run where I was really big, which I think is, like, the right time. Like, when you're in, like, elementary school and middle school, that's, like, the right time to be a wrestling fan, right? Not that you can't enjoy it, but, like, I think they also made, like, they made The Marine with John Cena, which I did see, and I saw on a plane. They made 12 Rounds. The whole point of it is, like, oh, we're going to take a wrestler, and he's going to be the featured actor, like the lead. And we're going to pair them with like actual like actors and like real talented people. And that's going to make it. So like The Marine 2 or Behind Enemy Lines or The Condemned, I'm naming some off the top of my head. See No Evil, fucking Triple H was in one. Paul what's his name? Big Show was in Knucklehead, where he gets stuck in a bathroom on a bus, and he fucking shits, and everyone has to vacate the bus. And you know, like they're not great films. So my feeling with The Rock was, okay, The Rock left being a wrestler to make shitty movies, right? Like, he doesn't make good movies. He makes bad movies. No one wants to watch Walking Tall or Doom. Like, Doom sucked. And then he made, like, The Game Plan. And I'm like, he's just gonna make these fucking movies? Like, he went from being like, he went from kicking Steve Austin's ass to, like, fucking, and getting, you know, fighting The Undertaker to, he's gonna be, like, in The Game Plan, or I think he was in Race to Witch Mountain, which I took a date to in 2009. Trying to think. He did The Tooth Fairy. Okay.
Classic.
So he didn't do good movies. He did shit movies. He did terrible movies. He did Faster. Do you remember Faster with Billy Bob Thornton?
Not a single. I most of these films you're naming, I'm like, yeah, I saw that one. Oh yeah, that one I've never heard of.
It came out like a couple months before Fast 5, But Fast Five was the first time that anyone ever told me The Rock was a big movie star, and I believed them. Because at the time, I don't feel like Fast and the Furious was a meme yet. Like, and say what you will, at this point, Fast Five was still like, oh, everyone's going to go see Fast Five. There was a line at my theater to go see Fast Five. And it wasn't like the people that go first night. It was everybody went and saw it, right? It was like an actual blockbuster. Like, I remember everybody went and saw Fast Five. It was so big that they had it take up, it wasn't just in multiple theaters. On the old, because now you kids, everything's digital. But they used to have, at the old theater, they used to have the signs that they would put up over the ticket office, right? So you'd go up and you'd look at the show times, and they'd be over the box office. And so I remember it took up not just multiple theaters, but it took up multiple theater spots. So it would be like Theater 1, and then it would have all the show times, and it would spill into Theater 2, even though it wasn't playing in Theater 2. Because there were that many show times in Theater 1. Like, it was just huge. And I was like, wow. So I saw Fast Five, and I'm like, now he's a fucking badass. Now he's cool. Right? Now he's like popular and doing like cool shit, and he's like with Vin Diesel and like all the guys from the Fast and the Furious movies, and he's like jumping out of cars, and he's shooting, he's got a big ass gun, and he's going to Brazil, he's taking the fight to them, whatever, blah blah. And then he did G.I. Joe Retaliation, which the first G.I. Joe movie, which I saw in theaters, was fucking awful. So like, and then it's like, oh, he's gonna resurrect all these franchises, because Fast Five was way better than Fast and Furious, which was the fourth one. And then I think he was in Hercules and San Andreas and
yeah, and that's around like
2014,
like San Andreas.
2015.
Well, San Andreas and Rampage and all of those. That's like when he's starting to use $7 Productions to make films, That's when he's starting to have a bit more of a thumb on the scale.
I don't think
in what's getting made.
I don't think San Andreas was $7 Productions, but I'm with you.
Okay.
But like, I wanted to emphasize that, not to correct you, but to say there was a point where I'm like, oh, I've had too much of The Rock.
Yeah.
And it was when he did the movie with Kevin Hart.
Oh, sorry, side note. I always confuse San Andreas and Skyscraper. Same film.
Yeah, it is the same exact film. Yep. Yep.
The one with Kevin Hart. I mean, which one? They did Jumanji. They did
Central Intelligence.
Yeah.
So I never saw Central Intelligence, but I saw the trailer for that, and it's him as a fat kid, and I'm like, oh, no, this is done. I did go see Baywatch, which I actually liked, but I think that is when he started producing all of his own films.
I did hear Central Intelligence was good.
Yeah, but I just got to the point where now I'm overexposed.
Yes, exactly. And that's the point he's at for most people, and it's just a matter of when we arrived at that. Each person arrived at that at a different point.
There was a time period where I was genuinely, unironically into The Rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like childhood hero is now a cool, respected movie star that actually is cool, And then it's like, okay, now he's just doing the same shit over and over again. Like, I passed a test in college because
congrats! Wow,
I predicted,
should we all be so lucky to pass a test?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. My professor, I was saying that Liam Neeson only does the same movie over and over again, and this was at the time when he had done Taken 3.
Right.
I gotta look it up. I said everything is just Taken but a blank, and he's just doing that same movie over and over again. And I remember he was like, after this movie, I'll never do action again. And then he did like a dozen more action movies.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, this is Taken with wolves, and this is Taken on a train. And I said, oh, look, it was 2014. I'm in college, and I said, oh, I said, I'm not trying to stop this plane. I'm trying to save it. And a movie trailer came out like the next week for Nonstop. I never heard of it before. I'd never seen it before that.
my brother came in and just passed me because I came in and that was an actual line in the movie. I'm not trying to crash this plane. I'm trying to save it.
Yeah. It's like the point of even if it's not the exact same in terms of, you know, taking on a plane, taking on this, it just becomes like every single one is the same in tone. And
yeah,
that's like, especially with The Rock, how I feel like all of his movie, like Jumanji, Rampage, Skyscraper, they all just like Red Notice, Red One, these
they all
feel,
blend together.
Yeah, they're all like in this nebulous world of films created for mass appeal that really don't have much at the center of them other than their star power.
Yeah, the thing at the center of it is The Rock.
Yes. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. So bringing it all back, we're going to be seeing the start of this. You know, maybe we'll see some seeds of the type of star that The Rock ended up growing into, or maybe we're in for like a totally different type of The Rock.
Okay.
We will just have to see.
All right.
But I guess before we get into the film, got to do our pre-film prediction. So CJ, why don't you take your headphones off?
Okay.
And I will guess how CJ's going to like this.
All right. They're off.
So, you know, like I said, I haven't seen this film in a while, but from what I remember, this is a pretty fun, enjoyable film. It's got some fun cast members. Like, I think Christopher Walken being in this is going to surprise CJ. Same with Rosario Dawson. And I think that generally, I think we're going to have a fun time with this one. I think CJ's going to come away saying this is okie dokie. I don't think CJ's going to walk away being like, that was a great film. But I think that there's going to be a lot of dated components to this movie. But I think CJ's going to have a good time and give it a big ol' thumbs up.
Hello.
All right. So, CJ, you got anything else to add before we get into the film?
Start the movie!
All right. Well, if you would like to watch the rundown with us, check the description for a link to the commentary track, and you can pause when we say to pause in just a moment. Otherwise, just keep on listening. So, if you'd like to watch the movie with us, pause this podcast right now.
It's a photo of Travis Alfred Walker.
That's Sean William Scott?
Yes.
Is this going to turn into the fucking movie with Robert De Niro and...
Midnight Run?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
About 3 minutes.
Oh,
well, there
now
goes
it's
the
flooded.
town's clean water supply.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. He's Superman. He had a propulsion behind him. Oh my God. He just punched a building down.
Oh my fucking God.
That was ludicrous. Oh, now there's multiple whip guys. And welcome back. It has been a week for us since we watched the rundown. CJ, how you been?
Not run down. Hi-oh.
Wait, no one has ran you over with a car or anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not feeling run down.
Nice.
Yeah.
You been up to anything?
I've been playing a lot of my Switch 2.
Nice. What are you playing?
I'm playing Game Boy Advance games, of course. I've been playing I played The Blazing Blade for Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem
Okay.
The Blazing Blade. And I started The Sacred Stones, which is
that also Fire Emblem?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I also started Castlevania Aria of Sorrow yesterday.
Oh, cool. I've never gotten around to playing a Castlevania, but I've always wanted to. How are you liking it?
This is my first Castlevania, so I've been enjoying it. It's our friend Dayman's like one of his favorite games, so I played and he was watching and critiquing me and giving me pointers. That was fun.
Of course. Nice.
Yeah, what about
Very
you?
nice. Oh, just been busy, you know. Saw multiple movies since we last recorded. We went to the Cubs game for Anthony Rizzo's retirement. Granted, we had our tickets before that was announced, but we had the tickets in it like well in advance, and then it just happened to work out where like that Tuesday or Wednesday last week he announced he was going to be retiring as a Cub. So really, really great time.
I didn't know that.
And then
I didn't know that. I knew that he was retiring. I knew it was that game. I didn't know that you had the tickets way beforehand.
yeah, we had the tickets for like a month and a half or so. And it just worked out absolutely perfect. And it was, you know, really cool experience. Just a really magical game to be at, even if the Cubs ultimately lost.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we hosted a big family party at our place that doubled as birthday party for the billion people in my family who have September birthdays in addition to Jade's August birthday. And then also housewarming party.
Yeah. I feel like you've been
Busy.
milking the housewarming angle a little too much, but
Oh yeah, in what way have we
I
been
feel like
milking it
you've
too
had
much?
multiple housewarming parties.
Yeah, we had one for our friends and one for our family.
I feel like that's one too many.
Interesting. Okay, so you want me to have all of my 20-something friends come over and party when my grandparents are over and we're celebrating my niece's and nephew's birthday primarily.
No, I just think that you're double dipping on the housewarming.
No, not at all.
No,
You're allowed to have two parties for one thing.
no, I hate that.
Oh. Well, we'll make sure that you aren't invited to them next time then.
Well, I wasn't invited this time, so.
Because we knew that there was confliction with your schedule.
Yeah. And the Patriots finally won a game.
Well, let's not talk about football.
Oh yeah, okay, very fair, very very fair.
Football is off limits until the Bears do something.
They've done lots of things.
Do something that would be fun to talk about.
Okay, very fair. That's very fair. God.
So we've been recording for maybe 11 minutes, and we've been talking for about 2 of those minutes because CJ has gotten 4 phone calls.
That's right.
Since we pressed record.
Well, okay. So do you ever have that friend that never calls you? And then you
That's
send...
almost all of my friends.
Oh, I call you. We talk every day.
You said call. You don't call me.
I call you sometimes. I just ask permission first.
Yeah, but it's not, if you called me out of the blue, that'd be like, my friend never calls me. I gotta take this, you know? It's all my friends.
It's
I'm
weird
not
that he
getting cold
called,
calls.
and then when I sent to voicemail, it's weird that it was weirder that he called back. So I was like, oh my God, did somebody die?
Did he think your phone was off?
I don't know what he thought, but whatever he thought, I told him I was not available. The first call was a work thing, and then the third one was a work thing. But I'm
Technically
like,
fourth.
yes, because JR called twice, yeah. No, but yeah. I much preferred it when we were talking about your Chicago Bears and your Chicago Cubs and you double dipping on your housewarming party.
And you know what's funny is right now I just got a Discord DM from someone I never really like engage with actively saying, hey, you got a minute? There's something I want to talk about. We are
Really?
just so popular. Yeah, I swear to fucking God. We are just so popular right now.
Okay, I just got a big email.
Oh my gosh.
It's from my boss. It's good news.
We are popping off right now. We are absolutely popping off. CJ, from what I understand, you did something this weekend.
Yes. What did I do this weekend?
I don't know. I asked you how your weekend was, and you said you did something that you wanted to talk about on the podcast.
When did I say that?
Yesterday.
I did?
Yes.
Is it in our DMs?
Yes, I'm finding it.
God, I am so sorry, Tommy. I'm genuinely so sorry. Good. Yeah.
Yesterday I got up, went and saw my brother for my sister-in-law's birthday.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
So I went and saw him, and Did you hear about the Sphere?
The Sphere in Las Vegas?
The Sphere is playing The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Right? I'm like, do they play it on the outside? It's like, no, they sell tickets on the inside. And
wait, were you unfamiliar with the interior of the Sphere?
No, I just didn't understand. Like, I knew that they had like an experience. I'd never heard of them selling tickets to see a movie. Also, what would that even mean? To see the Wizard of Oz in the Sphere, right? So they sell tickets and you go and you watch the movie and it's supposed to be super immersive.
Yeah, the screen is enormous and pretty much wraps all the way around you.
And my brother, for the first time in like 10 years, got on a plane and went to Vegas for vacation. And his number one thing he wanted to do in Las Vegas was go to the Sphere and see the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
He said it was outstanding. Now, my brother, you've met my brother.
Yes.
Does my brother seem like the kind of person to you that would enjoy watching the Wizard of Oz?
Oh.
You also have some extra information.
I do. I know your brother more than just knowing of your brother. You know, part of me wants to say yes, just in that it's like a seminal classic. But otherwise, no.
He loved it. And said it was such an amazing way to see the movie. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you were in the movie. And I was like, what does that mean? You're in the movie? He's like, you're in. He said he tried taking videos on his phone, or he tried taking a picture on his phone, and it literally didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, I thought that was incredible.
Have you seen a picture of what the interior looks like?
I saw somebody take a video of the Twister scene at the beginning of the movie of them in the Sphere. And I was waiting for that moment where it goes from sepia to color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just crazy.
Like, I'm sending you a couple pictures. Like, imagine seeing that. Like, this, I'm sending CJ just a couple pictures that I feel show the full width and height of the screen, how it just towers above you. Like, if you're sitting front row at this thing, you're not just looking up, you're looking up and behind you.
Yeah, it's like nothing I'd ever thought of. And it's like you're in it. And I genuinely am like VR, and he's like, it's not like VR, it's completely different. And even these pictures don't even give you the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because pictures flatten everything out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. I just can't imagine what that experience would be like.
So is there something that, you know, say there was something playing at the Sphere that really enticed you to the point where, like, I got to fly out and go experience this. What would it take playing at the Sphere to see in this immersive of an experience? What would it take for you to buy a plane ticket and do what your brother did?
So he didn't go just for that. It was their anniversary, and it was my sister-in-law's birthday. But if I, like, genuinely, it would have to be a movie, and it would have to be an experience type movie. I would say, like, Avatar.
Okay.
And I didn't really like Avatar, like the original Avatar. If they showed the original Avatar at the Sphere, I could see myself flying out there and doing a trip to Vegas and making that one of the main pillars I build the trip around. But, like, I wouldn't go for, like, I don't know, Goodfellas. It would have to be something like visual landmark film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If they were showing The Searchers and I was in Las Vegas, I'd go see it for sure. But to buy a plane ticket to Las Vegas, that's a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, and Vegas ain't exactly cheap right now.
No. And it's empty, apparently.
Yeah?
That's what the streets are saying.
That is what the streets are saying. Now, us with the ears to the ground, you heard it here first. Okie dokie. The film is Okie dokie, reporting live on the scene.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was what I talked to my brother about over the weekend, and I wanted to share with you. I thought that was just so interesting. I hadn't really heard about it, and then he did it.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies at the Sphere, I think it was Darren Aronofsky made a movie specifically for the Sphere that aired, I think, last year. Yeah, Postcards from Earth at the Las Vegas Sphere is what it was called.
Wait, did you say it was called Postcards from Earth?
Postcards from Earth at the Las Vegas Sphere. Apparently, it was just like an incredibly like cinematography-based immersive experience that's like people equate to almost being in virtual reality. And from what I can gather, it was just like, it's almost like Planet Earth, but just like visual experience. And then the Sphere also has haptics.
Oh, really?
To where, yeah, the seats have haptic feedback. So there's like literal wind and you feel different temperatures at times. So I bet your brother, I don't know if he mentioned it, but I wouldn't be surprised if like during the tornado, like there was wind blowing around.
Yeah,
and
he
shaking.
did tell me about the wind. Yeah. No, that's crazy.
Super dope.
That is, yeah, that's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a separate movie thing that I wanted to talk about. So on the show, we watch a lot of movies. It's our shtick. And we watch a lot of movies, and I've thought about, okay, how accessible are these movies to watch, right? We often have Blu-ray copies that we're both watching, but the cost of physical media is not insignificant, although it is much cheaper than it certainly used to be. But, you know, maybe people just don't have the room for that physical library. We talk about streaming services, but they're not cheap. So I was like, how many of the movies could you watch from the film is Okie Dokie and without having to pay and it being completely legal, right? So ad-supported platforms or platforms that have free streaming, right? I came up with one, and it's That's My Boy. And I was like, okay. Now, I know this is a sort of a problem I've invented because I'm sure everybody listening has at least a streaming service, right? Everybody here has some physical media. And for those that don't, you've still seen movies in your life, right? So, but I decided it would be interesting if for an entire month I only watched movies and TV shows that were available for free or via ad-supported services.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this in the month of October.
And then at the end of October, we're going to be like, so CJ, what did you watch?
Yes.
And you're going to say, absolutely nothing.
No. So, this is where you come in.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
You as in just me or
you,
me as
you
in...
specifically.
Okay.
You are going to get to have a little bit of fun here. And
Okay.
I'm doing what you did to me with the vulture thing, and I'm just telling the people about it without talking to you about it first, because I haven't mentioned this to you at all.
Okay.
Right? I haven't.
No.
Okay. You are going, and you and Jade can work on this together, but you are going to come up with a list of movies or whatever to watch. They don't have to be available on the free sites. These are lemons for if I break the rules, I have to watch one movie from the list, or if I don't watch the minimum number of movies
And
in
what is
October.
that number?
The number is 8.
Okay.
So I figure 2 per week. I can commit to 2 per week.
Okay.
I want to watch more if I can, but if I can't, 2 per week feels doable.
So, just to make sure I understand, if you watch a film that does not follow the rules, then you must watch one of the films of our choosing.
Yep. From the
And then
list.
say you watched 6 of the things in October. Does that mean you then have to watch 2
Yes.
extra from the list?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, so incentivizes me to get off my keister, but also introduces some punishment into the arena.
I
are
am
allowed-
so excited.
You are allowed to put anything on there of your choosing. I ask that you avoid things that you know I would definitely not like vis-a-vis horror. I'm not
Okay.
putting a horror ban on you, but like if you're going to put body horror in there, you know that is going to be too
Right.
far. But I'm
Right.
not giving you a genre restriction.
Okay. And purposely bad.
It can be whatever you want.
Okay.
If you were like, I want CJ to watch Hundreds of Beavers and CJ won't,
Okay.
this could be your opportunity.
Okay. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear about the films that you end up watching, what the experience is like.
Yes.
Especially watching many with ads, I'm sure.
So, it is going to be interesting, right? Because my main sources are going to be like Tubi and Pluto. It can be any platform, and I'm making this distinction. I cannot pay any amount for the service, for access, or for rentals. It just has to be a free stream. Obviously, I can't watch anything that is... Well, I guess I'm going to state the obvious. I'm not going to pirate anything.
Okay.
That's not a loophole. I'm going to
Right.
rely on these free services. And I'm going to rely on the free movies that are available on YouTube. Additionally, I will not watch anything via any of the streaming services that I currently have. And I won't watch anything that I have purchased digitally or physically.
Right. This is almost as if you had no services, like just middle of nowhere, a TV with an internet connection. What can you watch with just that?
The only exception, and I'm not going to watch anything on, because I pay for DirecTV, that's my traditional service provider. I won't watch anything on DirecTV either. The exception is live events.
So, hold on.
So
Just-
football.
Okay. But so I guess I didn't realize this was part of it. You are making it so that the only television content you can consume is these free things. It's not just, I'm going to try and watch 8 films over the course of the month.
I
that
am
are free.
restricting myself as if I had access to nothing else.
Oh, okay. So football and like baseball.
Yeah, basically sports. I'm not going to not
Yeah.
watch the World Series in October.
Yeah.
Football games. But I will not watch anything else. The only other clause is the walked into the room clause, where if I walk into a room and somebody's watching something on television, I'm not going to demand they turn it off, but I will not take control of the remote.
Okay.
So if I walk into the room and my sister's watching, I don't know, Project Runway, I'm not going to like, oh no, I can't, damn my eyes. I will not
Okay.
intentionally set out to watch anything.
Gotcha. I'm very excited to hear about this. I can't wait to hear what you watch, how the experience is. How did you come up with this idea? I should ask.
So I was the other day, I don't know if you know this. I've been sort of in recovery lately, and I was thinking about the idea of like, oh well, maybe I could like find something to watch. And I rented a movie that I wanted to watch, and then was like, I don't have any time to watch this for like the next week. And I was just really, for a minute, I was just like, huh, I really should have like not pulled the trigger on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this was a mistake. And when I peeled back the onion on that, I was like, yeah, there's some waste going on. So I was like, I wonder if I could get a month's worth of entertainment out of just what's available for free. And so I started looking at the free movies on YouTube. And I started laughing because it is a range. Right, like, for example, the Planet of the Apes movie with Mark Wahlberg
Right.
is available right now on YouTube for free.
Classic.
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, right now available for free. But so is Legend, the theatrical version, which is a 1986 science fiction film. Or Need for Speed from 2014 with Aaron Paul. So I was
another
like,
classic.
I was like, okay, yeah, there's some shit in here, right? And then I was like, man, I wonder what if you really were like had to pick something. How far could you get? So, yeah, like Lego DC Batman Family Matters. Okay. Like I'm just going through it, I'm reminding myself why this is so funny. There's a lot of free stuff in here, and I'm going to try and watch stuff I haven't seen before too. I'm not putting that restriction on myself in the rules, but as like a general, I want to try and watch new stuff.
Right. It's not much, it's not as fun of a challenge if you're just sitting there watching like A New Hope and The Searchers because it happens to be free and all these things you've already seen where you can kind of just like check out a little bit during.
Yeah, I want to watch
cool.
new stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited. First of all, do you think I'm going to fail? And how many times do you think I'm going to slip up?
I think you'll succeed this challenge.
Okay.
I think 8 movies. I think you got this in the bag.
All right.
I think, especially because weekends exist.
Yeah.
I think that's a big boon. I think, okay, remind me. Say you start watching something and you clock out. You stop watching halfway through. Is that a fail?
That's a DNF.
Okay.
So, doesn't count.
So, hold on. You're not punished for a DNF?
Oh, I'll be punished for a DNF.
Oh, okay. So, DNFs.
There are very few movies I've not been able to finish.
Okay. Yeah, I think you'll be able to. I think maybe you'll watch 1, maybe 2 of our films. But I think generally you'll be fine.
Yeah, I am interested how many of the movies from the film is Okie Dokie I'd be able to find. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Well, I can't wait for you to find the bike riders presented at half speed.
Yeah, that's something else, right?
Pretty sure that's on Freevee.
Freevee, that's right.
Yeah?
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No, I was about to say, I think they're shutting that down.
Yeah, I think that's gone.
Wow.
So, all right. We're Gucci.
Yeah.
So, we, was there any other business that we had to take care of before we jumped into the movie?
So, we did talk last in the pre-show about a movie you almost watched that I predicted was Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
Though I And I just want to bring it up to say, like, we've not forgotten about it, but I think maybe we can kick that to the very end of the post show potentially.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be wise.
Yeah. So let's talk about part 2 of our duology of protagonists overcoming their distaste for violence. Of course, we can't forget part 1 of this
the Quiet
duology
Man.
being The Quiet Man. But The Rundown, the 2003 film that CJ had not seen, I had seen a long time ago.
I'd never
CJ.
heard of it.
CJ, what did you generally think of The Rundown?
Okay. This is where I don't know that this movie is worthy of harsh criticism.
Okay.
Because I don't know that anybody could possibly watch a movie where monkeys hump the rock and think, oh, this is serious theater or art.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm like taking off my serious set of glasses, and I'm
Hold
like,
on. Wait, are you coming down to my level from Armageddon?
I am saying this movie is perfect movie to watch on a portable DVD player.
Oh, definitely.
This movie
Definitely.
is watch this in the backseat of the car
Bullseye.
movie. This movie could get the attention of anybody, and I'm not saying that because it's attention getting. I'm saying that because you don't have to pay attention to shit. You can leave for an hour, come back, and still kind of be fine about where everything is. You don't even need the whole middle of the movie. That really didn't do anything. A couple of weird rebels die, and then Rosario Dawson.
Excuse me, frickin', we're not getting into spoilers yet. Come on.
They live. Now you don't know which way
now
I'm
they'll
going.
never know. Yeah.
But no, I just don't. I don't know that this movie needs sharp criticism, and for that reason, I think it's a good popcorn delivery vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great movie to eat Mike and Ike's too.
Specifically Mike and Ike's, not Raisinets.
I love Raisinets, and I would not befoul Raisinets. Man, I'm getting hungry. I would not befoul Raisinets with this movie.
But you would befoul Raisinets with a Minecraft movie.
I didn't eat Raisinets in the Minecraft movie, did I?
Oh, that's right. I brought them in and you said no.
Yeah, because you fucking smuggled them in like a fucking criminal.
It's hardly smuggling when they don't care.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Anyway.
We don't need to relitigate that whole issue, except the fact that I was correct. Anyway, I'll say that I had no expectations. Once we got to a certain point in the movie, I'm like, oh, it's this kind of movie? And I was like, okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's... I had a lot of fun with it. Like you said, it's not deserving of harsh criticism. It's not a movie to be taken too seriously. It's a WWE studio film. It generally feels like it knows what it is. I feel like it does a good job of getting in and getting out. To me, this movie like really moved pretty quickly. Even if not much happens for a large portion of it. I guess not that not much happens, but there's not much plot development throughout most of it. There's always something going on that's fun to look at to some degree. And yeah, just I think a fun time.
Yeah,
But
it's totally fine.
yeah, why don't we get to a recap?
Okay.
And then we can talk a bit more pointedly after. So this movie stars, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with the of course billing as The Rock, since this is a WWE film. And he more or less is a retrieval expert? Is that what they called him?
Yes, I think so.
So pretty much he works for like a bookie or a guy who's into shady dealings, and he's the guy who goes and gets people to pay him money. He's the muscle for this operation. And the film opens with, a demonstration of just how much of an expert he is at this by going to a nightclub and beating up a quarterback and his entire offensive line all at once to take a Super Bowl ring off of him for collateral. And there's like a cameo from Arnold Schwarzenegger in this scene. Blink and you miss it cameo. But The Rock, this is his whole deal. He's a badass who doesn't like guns. He very pointedly does not use guns. And when he leaves this nightclub after collecting this collateral, another collector shows up and like blasts him with a beanbag cannon, just kind of to knock him out and bring him to the boss, because his boss was like, "Oh, I wasn't sure if you'd be able to do it. I had to send freaking whatever backup." And this boss, which who even plays this dude? I'm looking right now. Is this John Grease? I don't know. This is William Lucking, who is also in Erin Brockovich, Stripes, Red Dragon.
He was in Erin Brockovich.
Apparently. So he's the head honcho. He is more or less says to The Rock, "Hey, my dumbass son is down in the Amazon. I need you to go get him and bring him back." So The Rock flies down once he's down there, he takes like a little puddle jumper plane with a Scottish pilot who shows up a lot. The Scottish pilot is played by Ewan Bremner, who's in Train Spotting. But pretty much he shows up, he goes to this town, and this town is is it gold they're mining? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more or less like a
None
gold...
of these details matter, but I appreciate that you're doing your best here.
It's a gold mine colony that is more or less slave labor. Like hundreds of thousands of slave labor. These people like just working for Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken runs this place. And he has a bunch of goons. There's like, a couple of the goons who are notable in that they have a deal. The main goon's deal is that he has multiple whips. So
yes.
Dwayne Johnson shows up looking for the son of the mob boss and finds him. The son of the mob boss is played by Sean William Scott, who is from American Pie and Goon. That's what I most know him for. He's also Country Mac from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
And Sean William Scott's deal is he's in this town. He's like kind of working. He's kind of just like a shisty guy. He's constantly trying to woo Rosario Dawson, who is a bartender in this town. And he also kind of talks about how he has an appreciation for like historical artifact type stuff, but he's a get rich quick type of guy. So Dwayne Johnson shows up and he gets Sean William Scott, and Sean William Scott is like, "Oh, hey, you're never going to get me out of here." And Sean William Scott also talks about how he knows where a artifact is hidden in the Amazon nearby. It's called the Gato do Diabo, which is like the cat of the devil. It's this priceless gold artifact that's been lost. It's like almost mythical. And Dwayne Johnson quickly beats up Sean William Scott. Sean William Scott does not really know how to fight and goes to take him away. And Christopher Walken shows up, who Christopher Walken initially says to The Rock, like, "Oh, you can take him. I don't care." But now Christopher Walken is like, well, hold on a second. I'm pretty sure it's because he learned that Sean William Scott knows where this artifact is. So now he's like, oh, I want him to stay here to lead us there so I can have this priceless artifact. But Dwayne Johnson quickly dispatches of all the goons in like a bar fight. Again, notably not using the guns he is able to take off of the dudes and like throwing bullets around at people. Like he's ejecting a clip so a dude who's running away slips on it and does the splits, that type of stuff. Yeah.
It's Benny Hill bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean William Scott and The Rock hop in a Jeep. The Jeep from Jurassic Park, maybe?
Yes.
I don't know.
Same Jeep. Main character.
So they hop in this Jeep to leave, and they're driving back to the airstrip. And I think, what is it? Why do they end up getting taken off the road?
Because Sean William Scott's like, sorry, the fall's gonna hurt, and then he like steers them heedlessly off the cliff.
Yes, thank you. So he drives them off a cliff, and they fall for like a minute straight. Sean William Scott is handcuffed this entire time. They fall down this jungle cliff, just smashing into so many trees. They somehow beat the Jeep all the way down. They land in like a little lake. They somehow beat the Jeep down, and the Jeep falls above them, like on top of them. And now they're lost in the jungle. And it's kind of a buddy cop film. This is when we started bringing up comparisons to Midnight Run. But Dwayne Johnson is still very much in charge here. He has Sean William Scott still handcuffed. They're walking through. He has to help him like unzip his pants so he can pee. There's just like jokey stuff like that. Meanwhile, Christopher Walken is looking for these guys. They're like somehow trying to find them in the Amazon. They do somehow end up finding them. I have no clue how. They get up to antics while they're in the jungle. They like step into some like rope traps, and they start like hanging upside down and swinging, which leads to them getting attacked by monkeys. The monkeys in this film are just vicious. Like CJ said, like one likes to hump the rock. But the monkeys are scared off by some local rebels who have been alluded to before this. And the local rebels capture them and bring them to their camp. And the local rebels, like the main dude, he's this shorter guy who really knows how to fight. They have a punch 'em up in the camp where the Rock is fighting all of the rebels, including this like main short dude. And like, this is a movie, it's almost wire fu in the fights where dudes
almost
like someone will be on the ground and the Rock will grab them by their ankle and like yank them back and toss them behind them, and they go flying like 15 feet in the air. Like,
yeah,
it is dialed up to 11. Very stylized. And this fight is eventually interrupted by Rosario Dawson. Turns out she's more than just the bartender in this mining town. She is actually the leader of these rebels. And is the short dude her brother, or no? I don't remember that
I
detail.
don't think it being her brother, but at the time we were like, oh, it's her brother.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but more or less, the rebels kind of come to realize, oh, this is a bit of an understanding. The short fighter guy who is this played by? This guy, I mean, I feel like I should at least give him a name shout out.
Is that what he deserves?
Yeah, I'm not gonna just look up the names for almost everyone in this film, save for like one of the few people of color. Like, everyone in this deserves a shout out.
Fine.
Give me a second. Turns out Letterboxd really bad at finding people. Ernie Reyes Jr. plays Manito is his name, and he's I was looking him up while we were recording. He played like Donatello in the old TMNT films, or he was the stuntman for Donatello.
Mm-hmm.
So like he and The Rock are like, oh, we're friends now. They bond over their appreciation for Muhammad Ali. And they're like chilling at this rebel camp they're hiding, by the way, from Christopher Walken. It's night and they're burning a fire, like definitely giving away their position. And what do you know? Christopher Walken's men show up and pretty much gun down almost all of the rebels, including Manito, including Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sean William Scott, The Rock, Rosario Dawson barely get away in a little boat. And the three of them pretty much go on a voyage to go and get the Gato do Diabo, and Sean William Scott is able to lead them there. It's hidden behind a waterfall. There's like a methane buildup in the cave there, so there's almost an explosion, but they jump in the water and they're fine. And then they have to deal with a puzzle that causes a bunch of rocks to tumble, but they find the artifact and they get out with it. And then that night, they're like talking about it. The three of them are like, oh, wow, good job, everyone. But Rosario Dawson ends up feeding them a fruit in the jungle that is from the jungle that temporarily paralyzes them, first causes them to hallucinate, then paralyzes them. And she uses this opportunity to take the artifact, but she's like says to The Rock more or less like, hey, you're a good guy. Sorry that it had to turn out this way. Mm-hmm. The monkeys show up to come and hump The Rock, of course.
Yes.
But they are scared off by Christopher Walken, I believe. They're then found by Christopher Walken, right? Is it Christopher Walken who finds them? Or no, The Rock eventually is able to shake off the paralysis. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The Rock shakes off the paralysis because he's like, I'm tired of being humped by these monkeys. And he like yells and scares the monkeys off. So he and Sean William Scott are able to then trek back to the airstrip where the Scottish guy is hanging out. And they're about to fly back to LA because The Rock's like, I don't care about no artifact. All I need is you, Sean William Scott, because, something important to mention. The Rock's whole motivation for this is he is a chef and he wants to open a restaurant. And this job will fund the opening of his restaurant. This will get him out from under the thumb of the mafia boss. So he's like, listen, Sean William Scott, I just want to get you back home because it's going to net me $250,000. I'll be able to open my restaurant and I can forget that you even exist. And right before they're going to take off, the Scottish dude kind of tells The Rock that like Rosario Dawson ended up getting captured. We don't see this happen, but we learn that she was captured by Christopher Walken. So The Rock then kind of, he handcuffs Sean William Scott. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go save Rosario Dawson. And he marches into town with the help of the Scottish dude playing the bagpipes leading the way and unleashing a stampede of like cattle, of a bunch of oxen that were hanging out at the airstrip. They come through, just tumble up the town the whole time. Then this leads to The Rock just fighting off this entire town of guards. It's like a one-man army situation. And I think Sean William Scott comes with, though he's not much help because, again, he doesn't really know how to fight. And this is when The Rock, like, he's trying to do this without using guns. The whole film, he's talking about how I don't like guns because guns, when I use them, take me to a dark place and people get hurt. And more or less, this fight in the town is not going well. The Rock is pinned down at one point, like ton of gunfire on him. Sean William Scott is pinned down, tons of gunfire on him. But The Rock, he's Sean William Scott's kind of grown on him, right? He kind of likes him now, and he kind of considers him a friend. So Sean William Scott and him being in danger is the straw that breaks the camel's back. And The Rock is finally like, all right, I'm going to use guns. And like in The Quiet Man, forsakes his oath to not use guns. And he just lays waste to this town with guns, like straight up video game shit. Mm-hmm. The degree to which he is proficient with these guns. He's like, He's using 2 shotguns. He's dual wielding full pump shotguns. And after every shot, he's like spinning them around and cocking them in his armpits or placing them on like a loose wooden crate and somehow able to cock it on the wooden crate without the wooden crate sliding around. Just a bunch of absurd action shit. He's like catching whips one-handed when he's doing a face-off with the whip guy. And it's just like schlocky early 2000s action that includes him like punching out the support beams of a building. At one point, he just straight up Superman leaps across a giant gap from one building to another. And like when I use the word swimming, when like in reference to he swims through air, he genuinely swims through the air. There is like 0 drop in his height as he just flails his arms and legs to doggy paddle his way across this gap. And it's just absolute nonsense, absolute ridiculous violence for the sake of having a fun action scene at the end. Results in like pretty much all of these dudes being either knocked out or killed, and Christopher Walken shows up and he goes to try and shoot The Rock, but The Rock is able to like shoot a gun out of his hand or some shit like that. And Christopher Walken gives like, or maybe it's Rosario Dawson who shoots the gun out of his hand. But Christopher Walken gives like a great like, hey, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
But Rosario Dawson shows back up. She broke loose in the chaos. The rebels show up as well, and the town overthrows Christopher Walken. He gets his comeuppance. And The Rock and Sean William Scott leave the artifact with Rosario Dawson and the rebels and the town people, with the intent being, with this artifact, they will be able to, use the funds to establish a means for themselves and not be this slave labor town. And
Yes.
The Rock and Sean William Scott fly back to LA. The Rock is still like, oh, I'm going to turn you in, right? Fly back to Sean William Scott's dad, and he turns him in. And then The Rock is like, hey, before I go, I wanted to share something with you, like speaking to the mob boss. And he gets out the fruit from the jungle that Rosario Dawson gave them.
Mhm.
And he's like, you guys got to try this. And the mob boss, like, there are 2 goons there as well. And the mob boss is like, guys, he's the best chef I know. If he says we got to try something, we got to try something.
Fucking dumb.
And they all try this and they all hallucinate, and The Rock takes his money. The dudes hallucinate and like go into temporary paralysis. And then The Rock and Sean William Scott end on like a fun note of like Sean William Scott like pretending like he's gonna fight him, be like, oh no, fuck no, I'm not actually gonna fight you. You'd beat the shit out of me. And The Rock's like, oh, this guy still gets on my nerves. And that's the end of the movie.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Yes, that is the movie. Honestly, the monkey humping is probably the most dumb thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, they go a little too blue with the "can you help me whip my dick out" scene. But everything else,
I don't know. I like that scene just in that while we were watching it, he's like, come on, man, unzip me. And he unzips him. And I think like we said, like, well, he still's got to get his dick out. And Sean William Scott goes, well, I mean, you got to help me get it out. And then he's like, And then like he spends like a minute trying to wiggle it out. I liked it for that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, probably a little too blue, but it's like it has very strong parallels to the Midnight Run. Like it's beat for beat at some places, and I enjoy that movie. I don't enjoy this the same way, but like I said, it's fine. And I think the biggest thing is that we were talking so much about The Rock beforehand. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about The Rock after.
Yes, for sure.
We were talking about his films being genuine. I don't blame The Rock
for being an EP on everything he does, if for no other reason than no more monkeys are gonna hunt me. like, okay, no, we're not doing that, right? I'm not. He basically gave himself creative control over his own roles.
Yeah.
Which means that it's the rockification of everything. He always plays the same character because he's protecting a brand versus being a good actor, I think. Not that being The Rock isn't worthy. Like, I think The Rock in a Taken style movie would be really fun. Like, let The Rock go loose and, like, crush his way across Eastern Europe.
And then at one point, someone goes, "Who let The Rock loose?" You know?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, I would buy tickets to that movie. I don't think he'll ever make that movie in the same way that John Wayne didn't shoot people in the back. It's like, there's a scene in The Shootist where he has an opportunity to shoot somebody in the back. The guy gets up, turns around, pulls his gun, and then he shoots him. Like, because John Wayne doesn't shoot a man in the back. Like, The Rock's not going to go on some murder quest because his daughter... The worst he'll do is beat the crap out of you, right? But then he gets his ass kicked. The Rock actually has this, like, Mr. Worf situation where Worf was the security officer on the Enterprise, but he got his ass beat all the fucking time. It was like, to gauge how strong an opponent is, they get to beat up Mr. Worf.
What do they call that? Shoot. There's a word for that. Not a jobber.
It's a jobber in wrestling.
Okay. Then maybe it is jobber.
Yeah. So, it's a job guy. Dude just gets fucking worked over.
Yeah,
right?
It's like the Hulk in the MCU.
Also, he turns into Max fucking Payne at the end of this movie.
Oh my god, yes. We gotta talk, like, Max Payne is the perfect comparison for this.
It's full bullet time, like, I'm gonna shoot somebody across the map with a fucking pistol. Like, he becomes John Call of Duty.
Yeah. Not just that, he becomes both John Call of Duty and John Halo at the same time.
Oh yeah, if anything, you undersold the swim,
Yes.
the swim scene.
Which
He leaps across a alleyway, and in midair, like, does like I'm gonna punch this, but like, oh, I missed. No, I'm gonna punch it with my fucking bicep. And takes out a brick support pillar for a building.
Yes.
A structure.
For anyone who has access to the film, it's at around the hour 25 minute mark, 20 seconds.
So
it's so great.
there is some kind of genuineness to this. There's some honesty here because it's... I'm not going to say this is The Rock when he's vulnerable, but if this were like Jungle Cruise, The Rock would have like literally flown. Like, he would have been like, stand back, I can only do this once, and then taken flight to just like an AC-130 right above us and fucking destroyed the building, right?
Yeah, and
Well,
you know what's
it's grounded in a really dumb way. I can't believe I'm saying that. Compared to his later work, he is grounded being The Rock.
You know what I was going to say is interesting is, you know, we talked about how this was his second starring role, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his first couple films like Scorpion King, Rundown, Walking Tall, Doom. Like after those, he kind of goes into other films like Gridiron Gang, The Game Plan. He's in Get Smart, Race to Witch Mountain, The Tooth Fairy. He kind of steers away from being this like unstoppable fighting machine. And then once he gets that creative control we talked about, he kind of goes back to it. Like this, you talk about how this film is genuine. at the same time, there are like very clear parts like this. Like this is straight out of a 2018 or 2023 Rock film, right?
Yeah.
It feels like he was like, no, that shit I used to make, that's my image. That's got to be the only thing I do.
I feel like we're at like a point where like, cause like he starts with Baywatch was the first time he was in EP, right?
I think that was the one that we noted. Yeah.
Yeah. So he does do Fast 5 through Fast 8 where he's not the EP. He does San Andreas. He does Hercules. He does like Pain and Gain and G.I. Joe. And so like I'm hearing you, but also he did like since like 2010, he got back into the I'm the tough guy. But
Okay.
like I feel like that's also what he was just getting cast as. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's weird to say now when he's like the biggest superstar in Hollywood that, oh, this is The Rock getting work. If you look, it's not like he's beating off good roles with a stick. Fucking Doom, which I'm sure was a big deal, but has not resonated at all. Gridiron Gang, The Game Plan, like he's getting cast as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
He did, and wasn't, and then, God, the remake of Walking Tall. Isn't that movie, like, really short? I think that movie has Johnny Knoxville in it, okay? You want to talk about two guys that had a hard time getting roles? Johnny Knoxville and The Rock.
You know what's funny about Walking Tall? Maybe not funny. So do you know the deal about the movie Walking Tall?
I don't know the deal. I know the premise of the movie, and I think I saw the original.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the premise of Walking Tall is it's based on a true story of a guy who is the sheriff of his hometown who more or less takes on the local mafia. And it's based on a true story, like I said. So the events of this film happened in the 60s, and part of the story is the sheriff who he's playing and his wife are in a car, and this is like I think near the end of those films, and they get like gunned down by the mob and his wife dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was this year, like a month ago, after very extensive investigation, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has
No.
found and
No.
believe that it was actually the dude that he plays in this film actually killed his own wife.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a very recent thing that was investigated. Like they reopened the case, and like the dude's dead. The dude that it's based on is dead.
Yeah, he been dead.
Been dead. Yeah, died in the 70s.
He died at age 36.
Yeah. So yeah. Walking Tall. Yeah, like you said, very short film. It's like according to Letterboxd, it's 86 minutes.
TBI and the District Attorney General for Tennessee's 25th Judicial District announced on August 29th, so 3 weeks ago, that were Buford Pusser alive, there would be probable cause to charge him with the death of his wife. God damn it!
Yeah. Yeah, like I genuinely learned about this a day or two before we recorded the pre-show for this episode.
Her nose was broken before she was killed. She was shot up close, not far away, and the blood on Buford Pusser's car also contradicted his narrative. They also found that Pusser's own wound was self-inflicted. God damn it!
Crazy, right?
This is he literally carries around like a fucking 4x4.
Yes. Yeah,
The
that
whole
was part of the
movie.
gimmick, is that he walks around with a giant piece of lumber that he fights the dudes with.
Yeah. Like, he's like, I'm gonna clean up this town. He fucking killed his wife.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Fucked up.
he died 50 years before they made that discovery.
Yeah.
Oh my god. They made 2 movies about him, and this movie has sequels.
It has sequels?
It has direct-to-video sequels starring Kevin Sorbo.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I had no clue there were sequels. What is it? Like
Walking Tall, The Payback, and
What?
Walking Tall, Lone Justice.
Walking Taller and Walking Tallest.
I wish.
Jesus Christ, dude.
No, yeah. Kids today don't have direct-to-video. Like, they don't have direct-to-video movies. They have direct-to-streaming, but those movies are better than all the direct-to-video movies combined. God.
Anyway, The Rock in The Rundown. He has hair. What did you think about that?
See, I'm used to The Rock with hair because I was a wrestling fan. And, like, Nation of Domination Rock had hair. You know? Rock, when he debuted in the WWE, had hair. However, it does throw me through a loop when I see The Rock with hair because I'm like, he's got a little bit of that fiction. You know? That can't be his hairline. In fact, I know it's not because I've seen Walking Tall.
So I guess that leads me to ask, like, what do you prefer, Harry Rock or Nary Rock?
Oh, without question, Nary Rock.
Oh, really?
And I even like him better now that he's kind of shrunk down.
Oh, yeah. He looks so much healthier. So much healthier now that he's not.
And the bulk
clearly
doesn't really
roided.
translate on screen, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Because they never put him in frame with anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's like
gotta
Arnold.
be filming on his own. Yeah.
It's not Arnold where, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, is carrying the girl, and it's like, oh, look how big Arnold is. It's like, no, The Rock is never in frame with anybody else.
No, it's because he shows up 8 hours late to set.
Yeah. You know, you were
With
talking about
bottles of
this.
piss.
We were talking about this, like, bad reputations of actors and people, like, falling for their own gimmick. Did you ever hear the story about Vin Diesel it was either NASCAR or Formula One? I think it was NASCAR.
I've not. The only thing I know in terms of Vin Diesel and image and stuff is like all this stuff surrounding Fast and Furious and also The Rock.
He, for, I believe they went to a NASCAR event. It was either NASCAR or Formula One, like I said. I believe it was NASCAR. Yeah, it has to be NASCAR. And he showed up and he was like a VIP and everyone's really excited that he's there. And they're like, would you like to get in the car and do a lap around the track? And he's like, yeah, cool. And he goes to get in the driver's side of the car. And they're like, no. You'd have to sit in the passenger seat. Or you can't drive the car. And he said, Dominic Toretto doesn't ride shotgun. And they were like, well, you can't drive the car. That's not one of the options. And he's like, okay, then I'm not going for a ride. And he was like, you gotta, I'm dumb. And it's like, you can't drive a NASCAR car because you play one in the movies. Like,
he plays a car in the movies?
He might as well play a fucking car. Did you hear
so
they're
funny.
bringing back Brian Walker's character?
I did, yes.
To be in the finale?
I did. I was going to ask, have you seen that interview of Vin Diesel with that one reporter where he can't stop fawning over her?
Yeah. He
Oh
makes
my
me
God.
uncomfortable.
So hard to watch.
Can I tell you,
So
I
hard to
genuinely
watch.
think that the first 5 movies are fine.
The first 5? Okay.
Because
I'm
remember,
not sure I agree
do you remember when I took like a week off and I like watched a bunch of movies and I watched all the Fast and the Furious movies?
I don't remember you watching.
I did that at the same time I did Creed 3.
Okay.
So it was around that time. So, okay. First one, good movie.
Good.
Second one,
Too
different.
Fast, Too Furious.
Different, but fine.
It's fine.
Third one,
Tokyo Drift.
Yes. Third one, but it's still about cars.
Yeah, it's very different in terms of it, not the same leads. I think that met a lot of blowback at the time.
Yeah, because the first three movies are unrelated to each other.
Yeah, surprisingly, Tokyo Drift has stuck around in the cultural consciousness more than most of them.
Yeah. So then they do 4.
4. Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Furious, why'd I say it like that?
Fast
Probably the most forgettable.
Yes, and honestly, just kind of whatever, a nothing burger. But Fast 5 is good.
The best one. It's the best one.
That's why I'm saying the first 5 are good, because it ends with 5. Everybody gets a happy ending at the end of 5. You could stop watching 5, and you'd be so happy. Now, it's stupid as fuck. And I watched that movie and was like, this is fucking stupid. But the action in it?
It's great.
It's great.
It's fucking great.
It's great.
To me, it's the perfect balance of stupid, but it's aware of what it is. It's not up its own ass.
Yeah.
But
and
I do want to say...
it's a heist movie.
Yeah. And I do want to say, just because the first film is good and the fifth film is good does not make the first 5 films good, okay? The first film is good and the fifth film is good.
I know that people collectively shit on the Fast and the Furious movies. After 5, it goes downhill.
7's good. I liked 7.
Is it the one with the big plane?
That's 6.
The infinite runway?
Yeah, the runway that's actually like 28 miles long or some bullshit.
Yeah.
No, 7 is the one that Paul Walker died.
I said
during
Brian
the
Walker,
making.
if it makes you feel
Yeah.
better.
That's the one I like
with
that
the Wiz
one.
Khalifa.
Yeah.
You could
I mean,
also
how can
end
you
it
not
there.
cry at the end of that.
You could also
Yes,
end there.
should have
Jason
ended it there.
Statham, great villain. And it's like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. Speaking of action, did you enjoy the action in this movie?
You know, I kind of did. It's similar to Fast and Furious, similar to Fast 5, where it's stupid action in this, but it's, it's early 2000s. It's very schlocky. And a lot of the times, like, so many, especially the opening nightclub scene, so many cuts you can't even tell what's happening. That's hands down the worst bit of action in the film. But other than that, I think it's fun. I think the scenes, even the scenes where they're like hanging upside down and the monkeys are like flying around at them and whatnot, and they're trying to swing back and forth. I thought that was fun. I thought that the fight against the rebels is fun. I think the fight in the bar is really fun when he's like doing the most fucking anime shit with like we talked about earlier, like the magazine eject and whatnot. It's very stylized, like we kind of alluded to earlier, but it's fun, especially the whole final sequence. That sequence has lived rent free in my head since I was 7 and saw this film. Like when he gets his guns, like we talked, he turns into God, straight up. And it's such a power trip fantasy that it's hard to not have a good time when you're watching it. Even if it is a character totally backsliding against their morals.
Yeah, no. Like, that part, it's like, oh, they make it such a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Literally
So
just
how did you
shot
like the
everybody
action?
up. Schlocky's a great way to say it. It feels so much of that time that it feels like, okay, I wish that I could say that it felt self-aware. It doesn't feel self-aware. It just feels kind of like whatever it is. And from that perspective, totally fine. Like, it's just fine. The things that I actually didn't like are like the monkey shit and the dick.
Yeah.
The dick, whip my dick out. I just,
So
in
it's
general,
two
don't
jokes
like
in
that.
the film.
Yeah, otherwise, it's just fine.
Okay.
And again, this is we're not judging this as a serious entry because it is not a serious movie.
No.
Like, and at some point, you're just punching down.
So,
Like,
do you...
If it really bothered me,
I would shit on it the way I tore apart Wild Wild West. Right?
Yeah, so I want to bring up films that we've covered, like Wild Wild West and Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Those films, I think Armageddon, a bit more aware of what it is, still beyond like mind numbing. And like to the point where when they were making it, when we talked about this before, like Ben Affleck, I think it was Ben Affleck was like, why wouldn't they train astronauts to do the drilling? And God, fucking what's his face? Michael Bay who was like, dude, it's not that kind of movie, right?
Yeah.
Like definitely aware. Wild Wild West, I think is I think that they were going for something. Not that it's a serious film; it's comedy action. But definitely did not stick the landing on what they were going for. But the intent isn't this super serious film. How do you feel this movie executes on what it is going for?
I think this movie is a mechanism to make The Rock a bigger movie star than he currently was in 2003. Having really the only thing that people had ever seen him do is be the Scorpion King, and in one of them really bad CGI, even for 2001, by the way. Ultimately, it's just like I think it accomplishes that goal, right? WWE Films exists to get people to see their wrestlers. That's what it is meant to do.
Yeah.
So if you are in a WWE film, that's what it's meant to do, and that's what they did. They want you to view them as like comic book type characters, that are invincible but are complicated and have morals and things are difficult and whatever the fuck, and I think that's what it does. But like, I'm not gonna judge it with the same measuring stick that I judge, The Quiet Man.
Yeah.
Right. And
now,
I'm trying to think if there's other movies that we had on the show where we featured, like That's My Boy. Right? That's My Boy is not judged with the same lens that we judge something good.
Yeah.
Right? But like, if I had expectations for the bike riders that weren't met. Right?
Right.
So I guess that's where I draw the line.
Okay. Now you mentioned, and if you have the Wikipedia page up, please close it right now.
I don't have it.
Okay. I just pulled it up and I noticed something. I was curious about something, so I pulled it up.
Okay.
And you talked about this movie setting out to make The Rock a bigger movie star. And succeeding in that. And it made me curious what the budget and box office for this were. Do you want to guess what? Let's do the budget first. What do you think the budget of this film was?
So they're like on location in the jungle. I'm gonna think that already adds some heft, because you gotta think unless you're hiring all your people, you gotta have all the people be down there. I mean, this probably only had like a 28-day shooting schedule. I'd say in the neighborhood of $100 million for the budget. I would say that feels like right around there.
Okay. They filmed in Hawaii, just to give you that location.
Yeah, okay. You still gotta, I don't know how robust the film scene is in Hawaii, but
yeah.
In 2003, I guess. But yeah.
The budget 85 mil. Pretty hefty for the time.
Yeah.
Pretty hefty.
And it
equates
felt
to about
hefty.
150 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt
150 mil today.
I felt like, they did so much work in the jungle, you'd have to, I guess I'm calling it the jungle, but
transport everything.
Yeah, and like if you're going to do dailies, like you have to have Video Village set up somewhere close by to the jungle.
So, budget 85 mil. What do you think the box office was?
I seldom, if ever, think that WWE films actually make a profit. So you said the actual budget was 85?
Yes.
Is this domestic or both?
Overall.
I'm going to go ahead with like a lean 75. Yeah, I'm going to say 70. and just say that they missed the mark. And obviously, the rule of thumb is that you have to double your budget to break even.
So closer to 170.
Yeah. So, 70, 75?
80.9, so very close.
I was pretty close on both, I think. I think that I had the right ideas.
Yeah. So while I'm on this Wikipedia page, I'm seeing some purple links here. One notably, talking about the production of this film. Producer Kevin Misher described the film as Indiana Jones and the Lost Ark meets Romancing the Stone with a little bit of Midnight Run.
Wow, that's really funny.
Wow. Isn't that? That's crazy. And then one other thing I noticed on here. So the main goon of Christopher Walken, the whip guy. Did you know he was supposed to be Christopher Walken's younger brother in this movie?
No. When did we ever?
I don't know.
When was that ever?
I do not know. Zero idea. That's so funny.
Yeah, okay.
Also, some other tidbits I'm picking up from this page. There has been a lot of discussion about a potential sequel. Most recently, there was talks in like 2018 and 2020. They had written a script, a draft where the film took place in Alaska, containing a comedic scene involving walruses similar to the scene with the baboons in this movie.
Awful.
But apparently The Rock expressed disinterest in Alaska, so the writer started working on it in a less frigid location.
Wow.
Oh, that's so funny. That's hilarious. Something that we didn't really talk about too much is the editing in this film. Completely switching gears, the editing. I made a note that this is absolute boot to the neck editing. Like, this shit is relentless. It is quick cuts at times. It is like imagine a soundtrack going like, and just like constant close-ups and like cut it. It's like so early 2000s. It's so frenetic in the most obnoxious way. But this film has one of the funniest edits I have ever seen in anything. CJ, do you still have your copy of this movie?
I do.
Okay. Could you pull it up, please? And
yeah, I think so.
Could you go to 1 hour, 24 minutes, 20 seconds and pause?
Hang on, I gotta sort by smaller icons here.
Yeah, of course.
I've been doing lots of stuff. Apparently. Don't ask me what that stuff is. Okay. So 1 hour, 20 minutes.
24 minutes.
24 minutes, okay.
20 seconds.
Okay, and
so you're paused?
Yes.
So this is a moment in the film where the big shootout is happening and there's a truck that like gasoline is leaking from or something. And it leads to this truck having a big explosion. And it's a moment where The Rock walks away from the explosion and he does the classic cool guys don't look at explosions moment, right? So on 3, I would like for us to both press play. Okay?
Okay.
I will do 1, 2, 3, go. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go. Notice this truck in front of him clearly edited in after the fact. He walks like, if you go back and watch it again, he walks like into/through the truck almost.
Okay, hang on, I'm watching it again. Wow, he really does.
Right? It's so bad. Like, if this were real, he is inches from colliding with this truck. If you have access to this film, you got to go back and watch 1 hour, 24 minutes, 20 seconds. And so I'm thinking like this has to be covering like some film equipment in front or some production shit that they just could not hide, right? It's got to be. Why else would that be there?
Yeah, no idea.
Why else would they put this in? And you know what? How about this? If you're a part of the Okie Dokie Discord server, and you're hearing this, why don't you shoot a message in general asking about this, and I will post a picture about it.
There you go. Little engagement.
Yeah, a little engagement. And I guess I don't really have too much else to bring up. Just a couple small things. First is, this is part 1 of 2 in our protagonist forsaking their what was the exact wording? Overcoming their distaste to violence with the Quiet Man. So, how do you think this compares to the Quiet Man in that aspect? Do you think one might do this better?
Are you saying, would John Wayne do better as The Rock, or would The Rock do better as John Wayne?
I guess, that wasn't the direction I was approaching this from, but I do like that. How do you think John Wayne would do in this?
Oh, God. He wouldn't shoot anybody unless they were looking at him.
So he would absolutely get killed quickly is what I'm picking up.
He's not making
he wants
that
to
dive.
play fair. No. He's not getting dirty at all. He's going to walk around hands above guns.
Although, if Maureen O'Hara tried to date The Rock, I think the entire continent of Europe would object to that back in the 1920s. So, not sure how either movie goes, although I do think you'd beat the crap out of that guy. So, I think The Rock is a better John Wayne, and John Wayne's a better than John Wayne is to The Rock.
Okay. Very nice. I guess before we go any farther, did you have any favorite scenes or performances in this?
Rosario Dawson. Was surprised to see her in it. I was surprised to see in it Christopher Walken, but it's not like his performance wowed me or anything. So, yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I do think that there is a bit of charm to The Rock's performance in this because it is so early in his career and we know him as, such a magnate now. So I did like that. Definitely feels like a role he would not accept nowadays, despite everything we've said, just because I do feel like his character is beaten up a fair bit in this. And then, Christopher Walken's just always the best. I mentioned it during the recap. When the gun gets shot out of his hands, he goes like, whoa, it's just the best. He's so funny. And I do like Sean William Scott. I always, I grew up with this film. I grew up with him being like the shithead and everything, American Pie, etc. And I think this is a good Sean William Scott role. He delivers on the fuck faciness of it all, while also it's believable to me. The bond that he and The Rock develop is pretty believable in this, like, almost like the friend who annoys the fuck out of you way.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So let's now ask a really important question. Could CJ have done it?
Who am I?
So,
Am I The Rock?
So you're The Rock, and you gotta go and bring Sean William Scott home.
Do I get to have a wire the way he did?
What do you mean?
Like when I'm fighting Rufio in the jungle, do I get to have a wire?
Oh, like wire food? I mean, yes, but everyone is wired up.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no because I don't like the jungle.
Okay, what like the humidity, the mosquitoes?
Oh yeah, I would wilt.
Oh, how about the little parasite that swings up your hoo-hoo?
Oh yeah, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too fun.
No. But yeah,
okay,
no.
How about fast forwarding to just like Rosario? You learned Rosario Dawson got captured, and you got to go to the mining town and help rescue her. Could you have done that?
No, I think I only take out like 1 or 2 guys.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Damn.
I know.
Wow.
And a head-on fight.
We are on a bit of a streak of CJ saying no.
There you go.
This is our 5th film in a row.
What was the last movie I said I could do?
You said yes, you could do a That's My Boy if you were forced.
Tugging it to fucking the grandma.
Yeah. And you did say no to The Quiet Man because you are not a woman beater.
Oh, that's true. I'm not a woman beater.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
So yeah, let's get then to, is the film okie dokie?
I think for what it is, if you go into it just asking for popcorn delivery to your mouth, it's fine. It's okay. It's okie dokie.
Yeah. Wow. This genuinely feels like a little bit of character development, CJ.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think, yeah, I like you said, I think this really succeeds at what it's going for. I do feel as though I'm a bit clouded by nostalgia for it. So take that with a grain of salt, but I did really like it. It's a fun time. It doesn't try to be anything more than it is. And I think that's the crux of it.
Yeah, sure. I can get behind that.
Sweet. Well, how about we get up from our seats in the Is the Film Okie Dokie room and walk down the hall to the rec room?
Of course.
Okay. Walk through. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, whoa. Is this new lighting in here?
Yeah, LED.
Wow. Really shelling out the budget for the rec room. There's something new every time I come in here.
Yeah, well, stop coming in my rec room. How about that?
Okay, fine. I won't say
Arrive
what I
in
was
my
gonna
rec
say.
room. All right. What do you got?
Oh, I go first? All right. So I'm going to rec two things this week. The first is a book that I read recently at the recommendation of Jade. This book is The Long Walk by Stephen King. This is actually the first book that he ever wrote. He wrote it when he was a college student, I believe. And the premise, I should say, it wasn't released until much later in his career, and he released it under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman after he had already had some success. The premise of the book is that every year there is a competition where 100 boys volunteer to walk until one boy is left standing. There are a few rules. Rule 1 is that they must walk a certain speed. If they drop below that speed, they get a warning. 3 warnings are the most you can get. And if you drop below the speed again, you get your ticket punched, is what they call it, which more or less just means you get killed. And these boys start in Maine and they walk until there's one boy left standing. So very, kind of Squid Gamey, kind of Hunger Gamey, but it was originally written in the late 60s, kind of in response to the Vietnam draft. Really good book. Really, really good book. Jade originally read it years ago and thought that I would like it, so recommended it to me, and I loved it. Jade ended up actually rereading it because of it being in discussion and whatnot. Really good, really, really good. Just harrowing. Really harrowing book. But yeah, really, really liked it. And then the second thing I wanted to recommend is The Long Walk, the film, because this, funny enough, I had purchased the book to read, and then we learned shortly after that there was a film adaptation of this coming out, which it was directed, funny enough, by the director of all of the Hunger Games films except for the first. And it was written by J.T. Molnar, who wrote Strange Darling, which I recommended quite a while ago on this show. And it's just a film adaptation of this, and it's really, really well done. It really executes on everything from the book. The cast is incredible. It stars Cooper Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. The real standout, in my opinion, is David Johnson, who was also in Alien and Romulus. And it's just, about this horrifying experience and the bonds that are formed in it, along with many other things. There's a lot going on thematically, and just really good watch. It's a tough watch because of how brutal, intense, traumatic, emotional it is. But really good. There were a fair bit of changes from the book, but all of the changes made a lot of sense for a film adaptation. But yeah, really, really loved it. Jade loved it as well. So The Long Walk, CJ, what have you got for us?
I also have 2 recommendations for you all this week. As I mentioned in the pre-show, I've been playing a lot on my Switch 2. During my recovery, it's just easier for me to be able to have a handheld and be able to move around and not be constrained by wires and stuff. So I've been playing Fire Emblem. If you like tactical RPGs, I really do recommend the Blazing Blade. It is available in the Switch Game Boy Advance online library for free if you pay for the monthly subscription, so not free at all. And it is fun. I really like the style, the sort of pixel art style, and it had a pretty good story. It is the first game officially localized for English that was released in North America. So it is a prequel to another game, the game that came out before it, called The Binding Blade. So if you're interested in that, you may know that game if you play Smash Brothers, because The Binding Blade is Roy's game. So, yeah. So I highly recommend it. It's fun. It has a decent story, although if you're a Fire Emblem fan, you kind of know that the stories are kind of a little... So there you go. I never try to get into Fire Emblem discourse with people because it gets off the rails rather quickly. And then the other thing that I'll recommend is I had a nostalgia streak in the way that this was a nostalgia streak, and I remember I was like, what did I used to watch when I was a kid and I wasn't feeling well? And I decided to put on one of my comfort movies from when I was a kid, and I'd be homesick from school and whatever, and just try to recapture some of that feeling. And I found it and I rented it. It's Bugs Bunny's 1001 Rabbit Tales. It is basically a movie. It is some rough stitched together stuff, but essentially the idea is that it's a bunch of Looney Tunes shorts kind of framed in a story, and ultimately Bugs Bunny goes to like the desert and he becomes the official storybook reader for Yosemite Sam's son. So
Nice.
It is not amazing. If you like Looney Tunes, you'll like it because it has a bunch of shorts in it, but it just is one of my favorites from when I was a kid, and it made me feel a little better while I've been recovering.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, real quick to recap our recs, I had The Long Walk by Stephen King, the book, and then The Long Walk, the film. And CJ, you had?
I had Bugs Bunny's 1001 Rabbit Tales and Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade.
Awesome. Well, it is time for us to find out what we are watching next time on The Film is Okie Dokie.
That's true.
We've got a bit of a surprise for the listeners, because we have a returning guest next time.
Is it
on the
Dayman?
show. Oh, no, it is not Dayman. In fact, I have word that our guest is ready to join us.
Ooh, all right. Oh my God!
Hello.
It's you!
Welcome
me.
back, Jade.
Hey, thanks. How we doing?
We're doing great.
We're doing good. We just talked about the movie for a while.
Yeah, can you give me a quick 2-hour recap of how it went?
Yeah, okay, so
yeah.
Dwayne the Johnson is a retrieval
Dwayne the
expert.
Johnson?
Dwayne the Johnson.
He
That's
starts walking from
exclusively-
Maine, and only
Yes.
one boy gets to have their ticket.
That sounds so familiar. I think
Oh,
I've seen that movie.
goodness. Oh, well, Jade, from what we understand, you have the film for us that we're watching next time.
I do. Did you guys want to hear what it is?
I
Would
am so
love to.
curious.
Okay, well. Okay, so you guys just watched the movie The Rundown? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but next on The Film is Okie Dokie, we are continuing in our duology of a film that features a white guy who doesn't like hearing the word no, and we are watching Sinners.
What?
Yes. This was the movie I almost watched.
What? Are you
We're
kidding
watching
me?
Sinners.
What? Oh my god. I am so excited.
Are you?
Me too.
I am excited. I almost watched this and then I was like, you know what? I am not gonna, because I think this would be good. And then I was talking with Jade, and she said, "Oh, we can do an in-person one. That'd be a good one." And I was like, "What if? Fuck it, we ball."
Oh my god, this is so exciting.
Now, I will say, CJ, is this your first horror movie that you've seen in a very long time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, Tommy and I are going to hold your hand through it.
Thank you.
I have seen the movie twice already. Tommy has seen it once. We are not going to set you up for failure. We're not going to try and pull a fast one on you. You're going to be very safe watching the movie with us.
Woo!
I have thought a lot about it, and we can chat more about that in the pre-show next week. But yeah, we're
Ooh.
watching Sinners.
I cannot even begin to articulate how excited I am.
You're genuinely surprised?
I am so shocked. I didn't think it would be Sinners.
Yeah, Tommy did tell me a few of his guesses as to what he thought that it may be, and he was even going off on a tangent because CJ, you sent me emojis
I
describing
did.
the movie and what it. So, to the casual listener, CJ, what was it, like last week? Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, because of
You
the
said-
football.
Yeah, you were thinking about watching this movie, and I really wanted to know what it was. So you said that you would send it to me in emojis, and you did, and I was so excited. But I was like, oh, we wanted to watch that with you. We wanted that to be an in-person okie dokie movie.
So can I ask what the emojis were?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm screenshotting them right now. Hang on. I will send them to you in show chat.
Okay. I want to read out what they were.
Yep.
For the listener. Okay, so there's a banjo, a vampire, some clinking beer glasses, a man wearing a cowboy hat, and a full moon.
Which, I feel like pretty good hint.
For
I
someone
think
who
so.
hasn't seen the movie, yeah, pretty good hint. Pretty good hint.
I know I've only seen one clip.
Okay.
And it's the guy's like, "Can we come in here and play?" And it's like, what? No.
That's exactly what he says.
They're like, "I want to come in here and play." It's like, no.
And that's
fuck?
exactly how he sounds, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in the movie.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
really knew that you perfected your Irish accent after watching The Quiet Man.
It's actually a 3-parter. It's our third part in Irish people.
In Irish people. Is
Whoa,
there
whoa, whoa.
Irish people in the
No,
rundown?
there is a Scotsman, okay? We are different.
Oh, are you Scottish?
No, I'm Irish.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Okay, well, I
This
will
is
hop
great.
off now, and I can. Do you guys have any more that you need to finish up?
You know what? Stick with us as we do
Okay.
our outro.
Okay, I'll
And
try
then,
not to
we-
interrupt.
No, you are all good. I guess, is there anything to add, CJ?
No, I am very happy for you that you're excited about this. This was the
I'm
reaction
so
I was
excited.
hoping for. And I'm going in basically blind, except I know I want to come in here and play. So,
Awesome.
and I expect that to
Awesome.
be very important. And I don't know shit else about this movie. So, we're going in real blind.
Oh, cannot wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
As always, I've been CJ.
And as always, make sure to join our Discord server. Make sure to join the Vulture Movie Fantasy League. Make sure to rec the show to friends. Download the episodes on their phone without them knowing. Make sure you rate us 5 stars. Otherwise, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Bomani Jones at Wave Sportsnet.
Wave Sports and Entertainment. And also, I was going to do this after you said, and I've been Tommy. So thank you for that one, Coach.
And
Yeah.
I've been Tommy.
Rate us, review us, give us 5 stars.
you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. Shout out to Vivani Jones at Waves Sports Entertainment for the quip is how that's supposed to go. And next time we'll be back with Sinners
Sinners
for Halloween.
Yeah.
Except not Halloween, but close.
Close. October.
Spooktober.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye.